Good afternoon. Wow. I'll tell you, you won't believe what I've gone through in just the past 15 minutes getting coffee together, making sure everything was up ready for the show, and, well, being a bee killer because either I killed the bee or we'd have had a yiping dog because our dog just does not know any better. Um, Hey, I'll tell you what, she kicked the hell out of the biggest hornet I'd ever seen in my life last year, right? She was real little then, and how she didn't get tore up by that thing, I don't know, but she came out on top that time. Um, I know it bunked her on the nose, this bee here, and she backed off, so I don't know if she got the point just momentarily or anything, but I figured I better intervene. Anyway, that might be why I'm a little bit out of breath. Um, wow. So let me think here. I probably said something Friday. I just double checked to see when it came in because I can't remember if I said something Friday or not. But we do have most of the components here to do the countertop gravity feed water filter. We just got to get a couple buckets yet. Um, Couple buckets, some fittings because I'm gonna make a nice one, and I'm gonna show you guys how to make one that's got water level indicators and little simple thing. I mean, you add four 90-degree fittings and some clear tubing, water safe tubing, and you can make water level indicators so that way you can tell how much is in your bottom bucket and how much is in the top bucket without having to guess at the bottom and look down in the top. So, gonna do that. That'll help out a little bit later on down the road. What I plan on doing, and this is gonna be cool. What I plan on doing is actually putting a float valve in the top bucket and actually running a little line directly to it, so that anytime the water level goes down in the top bucket, meaning you use water out of the bottom bucket, it will automatically fill. And the reason for that is because with these candle type water filters, if you consistently let your top bucket drain down, what's going to happen is you are going to clog the pores on the lower section of the filter before you do the upper section, and essentially you'll be making your filter useless a lot quicker than what you would be if you made sure that the water level always was maintained above the filters. And so that's essentially what I'm going to do at some point down the road. I'm not going to do that part of the project to show you guys building it. The only extra I'm going to put on there is the water level indicator, and that's really not an expensive task. I think I've seen the fittings that I'm going to use online. They're like $1 a piece. So I'm going to try to get everything except for the buckets online. That way I can give you guys links. In fact, I'm probably going to get the bucket lids online because finding a gasketed bucket lid when you don't live somewhere that's got Lowe's or Home's Depot or whatever right inside of town, that can be a bit of a challenging task. Buckets themselves I can find here, which is a good thing because like Home Depot won't ship a bucket to you. So I figure I can probably get them here locally we do have a Rural King in town, an Ace Hardware. I'm sure I can get a bucket for relatively cheap, a fair price that will fit the lid that I get. So I would think that the lid is pretty much a standard. I do know there can be differences in it. So we'll see. We'll see. I might wind up getting the lids and buckets online off of eBay or something, but that's going to make it more pricey. So anyway, that project is coming up. I really do need to get out that project using the cotton wick and like a soda can or whatever you can come across for emergency candle, essentially. I really do need to get busy on that. It's not like that's going to take any amount of time. Been kind of a busy weekend, so been trying to catch up on stuff. Didn't get near done what I would like to have, but we did make progress. So let's see. What else? It seems like there was something else too, and let's see. It said my connection to the Flash server was cut. Looks like I'm good on. Huh. I wonder what happened over there on D Live. Not sure. Something happened over there, and I don't know. Don't really know how to fix it. So, interesting. Well, I'll finish up. I'll finish up the monologue is what I'll do, and then I will. I will actually start another one over there because I have no idea why I dropped off over there, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, so I think there was something else I was going to tell you about, and it slipped my mind. Been paying attention to the news. It's been back and forth, kind of crazy when it comes to things like the Iran nuclear deal, and among other things. And it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. Trying to think if there was something in particular. I don't know. Don't know if there was or not. Let me go ahead and run through the typical housekeeping thing that we do at the beginning of the show. And YouTube, where are we at finances? So I'm showing $30.13 in there right now. So that's way more than usual. Usually it's like under $5. So so anyway, that won't come to fruition until next month. That won't be this month. That will be next month. So Google AdSense. Evil is obviously still IP banned and he was obviously pretty much the only one that ever clicked ads on the website. If you don't know what I'm talking about, on the website, thewatchmannews.com, we've got ads. If you click them, you don't have to buy nothing. You don't have to sign up for nothing. Just click the stupid thing, and it will actually put a little bit into our earnings here on Google AdSense. So it's actually pretty impressive with how it works. And Evil was clicking the hell out of it, you know, well, a couple of times a day. And and I'm sure others have done it too, but he was consistent at it, and it built up like $40 in the time that he was doing it, and the time that they allowed him to do it. It built up like $40, and he was just doing a couple clicks a day. So it does help. It really does help. It's been weeks now since there's been anything in there because he can't click on it, and obviously nobody else is. So anyway, that's what's up. We are past the threshold limit, so we will get this coming up probably around the 21st. And that is going to go to, well, it depends. It may have to go towards finishing up the countertop. I may have to do the emergency water filter, you know, the following month or whatever. We'll see. I want to get this countertop water filter done and out of the way since we've got the majority of the components set in here right now. So we'll see. We've got some earnings coming from D Live, well, Steam It, and they'll be coming in. Those have to go back into the bank. Most of that has to go back into the bank to cover what we used for the dog trailer, for Blue's trailer. So that should get in. That should come in tomorrow, and so that's got to be replaced. So probably be a little bit left over, not much, a little bit, which I figured I'd put back, or maybe buy a couple of the fittings or whatever that we need to get this countertop one fixed. Now the bulk of what you see in front of you, I think we're going to actually invest in a second solar panel. I was looking at a couple of different options. And I'm not totally decided, but about 99.9% decided. I would really like to add another panel like we have. I would like to add another panel to our system. And the other option I was looking at was possibly a crossbow. And I really debated that because we don't really have anything for defense. and a crossbow would be a good solution to that. But what I think I've decided is, instead of buying a cheaper crossbow, I would rather save up a little bit more and be able to buy something a little bit better than the models I was looking at. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. We definitely need a little bit more as far as energy. That 50 or 60 watt panel, whatever it truly is fine. But two of those panels would put us in a happy place, without a doubt. Would put us in a happy place. So at that point, we could add on a couple of more batteries, and it would be very beneficial for us. So I think that would probably be the smarter move to make. No, that doesn't. That isn't going to provide something new that I can provide on the show. But it is something important within our personal preps that we need to deal with. So, and that's kind of part along that's kind of part of what I'm doing. We are getting prepared, and at the same time, I'm trying to show you guys ways to go about this. And even though it's not something directly to be able to turn back into the show, although I will do an update on it after I get the second panel. I will do an update on it and show the difference in how the system is doing with the second panel added. I am also going to, at some point, design and build a rack that can fold up and be easily stored and be able to deploy. I'm wanting to set it up to where you could eventually deploy either 2 or 4 of those panels on one array. So that is kind of the idea. So that would be something new that would come towards the show. But first, got to get that second panel. And like I said, this is about teaching you guys cheap ways of being able to prepare yourself. And at the same time, it helps us become a little better prepared ourselves. So I think that's a good exchange there. So that's what we're looking at there with AdSense. Now there will be a little bit that gets added to it from YouTube. It's probably not going to be a whole lot, but that number hasn't shown up yet. I expect that number to show up anytime between 3-4 days from now and say the 15th. So you guys will know when I know. So anyway, that covers that stuff. Let me run over the Twitter stuff, get that out of the way. And then I will try to deal with what's going on over there at DLive, which is likely going to cause me to have to kind of bump the stream off and on, just so I can repropagate it over there. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to the tweeter. Let me get scrolled down because I hadn't got that far yet. And this coffee's good. Let's see. Okay, looks like we are starting here now. Okay, real quick before I go any further, Prepper Nurse was actually on what was that channel? I'll have to look. Let me look real quick, because I done said it. I need to look. 1 second here, because I get the name messed up. Okay, Colorado Biker Prepper. Prepper Nurse was on there last night. They did a 2.5-hour show, and so, like I say, Prepper Nurse was on there. What I could hear of it was pretty good. I was busy last night, so I didn't get a chance to really sit down and listen to it all. I still haven't had a chance to really sit down and listen to it all. But what I did hear of it, it was good. I really enjoyed what I was hearing. So definitely, again, it was Colorado Biker Prepper is the name of the channel. He was on there yesterday. I wanted to make sure to make a point of that. I guess while I'm talking about Prepper Nurse, I'll throw his plug in real quick. During the month of May until May 31st, he's got 10% off site-wide on his website. the entire website, whether it's the legacy food products or merchandise, 10% off. And the coupon code for that is PREP10, PREP10. And again, that's on the entire site. Let's see. Lebanon equals Hezbollah. Israeli Security Cabinet Minister on Lebanese vote. Iran threatens U.S. with fierce reaction to violation of nuclear deal. Now, well, I might be tweeting it. I might have tweeted it out. We'll see. Hamas ready for talks on truce with Israel and Gaza. Daesh reportedly claims assassination of Iraq election candidate. Putin puts Medvedev candidacy for PM before Parliament. France, UK, Germany to stick to Iran deal irrespective of U.S. decision, which I find that very interesting, by the way. Czech Republic never produced or stored Novichok. Now, this is coming from members of the government of the Czech Republic, and I just find this astonishing because I just reported last week that the president of the Czech Republic had said that they did indeed produce it. That they did indeed produce it. And even made the statement something to the effect of it would be foolish or something not to admit to it or something. I don't know. So I don't know what is going on there. I really don't know. That is very interesting. Very interesting. There is so much going on behind the scenes right now. There really, really is. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know. Because you know what? Anybody that pretends to you like they really know what's going on, if anybody pretends to you to know whether or not Russia is really on board with the New World Order or not, or whether Trump is really doing good things or not, they're full of shit. And you should just tell them straight out, you're full of shit. Because there is so much going on behind the scenes. It is not possible for you and I to know. What we can do is keep our eyes and ears open and keep them very alert to every single little detail. You know the old saying, what is it? The devil's in the details? That's the truth. So keep those eyes and ears peeled. Keep alert. Look for every little bitty thing. Because it's going to be in the little bitty things. Is where you're going to find truth. This is incredible. This is incredible. I just told you two things that are mind-blowing. Number one, you've got the Czech Republic president saying that they did indeed produce Novichok, and then you've got their military leaders telling you they didn't. And you can gas and speculate and bullshit all day long. But that's what they want you to do. That's what they want you to do. What they don't want you to do is pay attention to what's actually important. Why are they doing this? Why are they trying to cause this confusion? That is what is important. Not whether or not they actually had it. The other thing that I said that I told you about was France, UK, and Germany to stick to Iran deal irrespective of U.S. decision. Now, for myself, that's mind-blowing. And again, we can speculate, we can guess, we can throw out ideas, but to say we know is bullshit. Point blank. Because this is incredible revelations about what's going on. And I don't know if there's anything on it or not. Nope, there's not. So I'm going to real quick, before I go any further, I want to tell you that they're preparing. Israel is preparing for a missile barrage to come their way on behalf of Iran. Again, falling back into that category. We don't know the truth. We don't know the truth. And anybody that says they do, bullshit. But here's the thing. When I look at all this stuff going on, I take all this stuff in consideration. Let's not forget about the important points in May. Okay? I believe our embassy is due to open this month in Israel, in Jerusalem. We've got the Iran deal that a decision's going to be made. A lot of big deals going on. So I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking about this and I'm trying to put all these puzzle pieces together. I really, truly am. And the information is so spread and so different. You hear one thing from one group and another thing from the other group. This thing in the Czech Republic is mind-blowing when you've got the military leader saying one thing and the president saying something totally different. Again, we can sit there and talk about it all day long, whether they do or don't, and that don't matter. What matters is, why are they trying to blow smoke up our ass? That is what matters. What are they trying to distract us from? So you got people right now that just can't shut the hell up about Stormy Daniels. You've got people that still can't shut the hell up about Hillary. And I am so sick to death of both of their names. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to talk about it. Why? Because it doesn't fucking matter. I hope I'm clear on that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he slept with Stormy. It doesn't matter if he's still sleeping with Stormy or if he's going to sleep with her tomorrow. It doesn't matter. It's a distraction. And if you're talking about it, even like I am right now to this point, it's a distraction. And they're winning. Don't be naive. Don't be naive. That's what they want. Confusion, distraction. That's how they get away with doing whatever the hell it is they want to do. Don't be naive. Don't be their tool. That's why we don't discuss that stuff here. That's why I don't discuss that stuff off of here. I just don't. So anyway, watch for those distractions. Ask the right questions. That's so important. Again, it doesn't matter whether or not they produce Novichok there. It doesn't. What matters is, why are they trying to, take both sides of the coin here? Why is one group saying one thing and the president saying another thing? And, why is it that they are trying to distract us? Or what is it? That's the most important question. What is it that they're trying to distract us from? It's interesting stuff, folks. And I really do think we are getting closer and closer. And what I was going to talk about when it comes to the IDF setting up a missile defense system and getting ready for this barrage of missiles to come flying at them. Let's not forget the Bible. Let's not forget what it has to say about Damascus and what will happen to Damascus. That's what I am waiting for. If you watch Harry Potter, he talks about different like canaries in the coal mine, different things that he's looking for, like Hillary going to jail and this and that. What I'm looking for is things like Damascus getting leveled. That's what I'm looking for. I'll tell you what, if you don't have your helmet on by the time Damascus gets leveled, I hope you at least have it fitted. Because things are going to increase their pace quite dramatically at that point. And I think it's going to be it's literally going to be a quick thing when it happens. The thing of it is there's been missile strikes over there in Syria. It's nuts. The missile strikes that are going on, the denial of the missile strikes, that's what blows my mind. They've had missile strikes that nobody is taking credit for. U.S. hasn't taken credit for it. Israel hadn't taken credit for it. Nobody's taken credit for it. Don't you find that interesting? Especially, from the good guys. Anyway, let me finish up our Twitter. Paraguay to move embassy in Israel to Jerusalem in May. So that's another one. And I got to thinking about that too when I read that. And it's like, why are all these different countries moving their embassies to Jerusalem? And there's a lot of things that I hold real loosely in my mind because, the way that we've been taught traditionally could be wrong. And that's why I hold those things loosely. That's why I don't cling on tight to ideologies or traditions. Why I keep my mind open enough that if I run across something that's different, I will be able to see it. I won't just dismiss it because it's not something that, I've heard that all my life. I don't want to be that guy. So why? Could that possibly be? And this is just me throwing something out there. I'm not saying it is, it isn't. I don't know. Could this possibly be what was meant by rebuilding of the temple? And I've asked that about several different things on this show. Come on, could this be the rebuilding of the temple? Could that be the rebuilding of the temple? How about this? How about all these embassies moving to Jerusalem? Could that be the rebuilding of the temple? Because you have to understand how the Bible is written. It was done largely in parables. So just because it says one thing doesn't mean that it means that thing directly. That's where you have to have discernment. That's where you have to have the knowledge. An open mind. God, I love the Bible. I really do. God was wise beyond our comprehension. Without a doubt. And this is the last thing that I had tweeted, which is certainly big news. Russia Ka-52 helicopter crashes in Syria. Both pilots killed, says the Ministry of Defense. I don't really know anything about it. I guess we'll read it real quick before I close at the monologue. A Russian Ka-52 attack helicopter has crashed during a routine flight in eastern Syria, and both of its pilots were killed in the incident, Russian Defense Ministry has announced. A Russian Ka-52 helicopter has crashed during a routine flight over eastern regions of the Syrian Arab Republic. Both pilots were killed, the ministry stated. It's like the same thing, two different ways. Anyway, continuing. The remains of the pilots have been recovered by a search and rescue team and delivered to the base airfield, according to preliminary data. The crash was caused by a machine malfunction, the Russian military said. Now let's stop there for a second. Roy Potter has been talking in length about these, malfunctions on all these aircraft. And I just want you to think about that. Ka-52 attack helicopters, also known as alligators, because they're kind of funky looking things, have been used by Russian troops in Syria since 2016, providing close air support during various operations. A maritime modification of the helicopter, the Ka-52K, also briefly participated in the anti-terrorist campaign late in 2016, operating from the aircraft carrying cruiser Admiral Kuznetsov. And I know I said that wrong. The crash is the first such incident with the Ka-52 machines in Syria and the second deadly incident in a week to involve Russian aerospace forces. On May 3rd, an Su-30SM fighter jet crashed into the Mediterranean Sea off the Syrian coast, shortly after taking off from the Kimium something airbase. Both pilots were killed in that crash. The incident was likely caused by a bird, which got sucked into the plane's engine, according to the preliminary findings. So that's all the information on that as of now. But, you know, we keep seeing these planes, these military planes in particular, going down. Very, very, very interesting. So I think that's going to wrap it up on the monologue. Let me go ahead and get the monologue closed up, and then what I'll do is I'll get a video going and go from there. I'll try to get this D-Live back up and going. So, as I always close the monologue, God bless you all. We love you all.